So with 2025 come to an end, we've had a year of amazing fights, amazing fighters, amazing cards, and today I want to take a look at the best fighters of the year and choose a best fighter of the year. And it hasn't really been one of those kind of standout years. Say like last year, you had like Pereira and Topuria. Like you could argue either one was gonna win it. There is a bit of some standouts, but it's not exactly a they've not exactly been demolishing, let's just say that. A couple have, but a lot of them haven't, if that makes sense. Maybe like one or two fights. However, I've got a list of fighters on a tier list, and I'm gonna just go through each one and explain what they've done, and then I'll put them in a rank, and then I will. I'm not gonna choose the winner yet. I'm gonna say at the end. You probably already know if you kind of watch a bit of MMA anyway. But yeah, we'll get into it. So the first fighter I have here is Pereira. So Pereira obviously he's only fought twice this year. He fought in March where he lost to Ankalaev by decision. Came back in October and knocked him out in the first round. And that was his year. So it was like a year of redemption for Pereira. He came in, fought Ankalaev, fought the big scary bad guy. He lost. It was a decision, and some people say even it was a close fight. I don't think it was. I think it was like 3-2 Ankalaev or even 4-1. But Pereira lost. He came back October, knocked him out in the first round. It wasn't really much of a fight, and then yeah, that was that. So Pereira, I'm gonna put him at like in terms of fighting this year, I'm gonna put him at a C because he did lose, but then he did get a cool knockout at the end of it. So give Pereira a C. It's a bit different from last year where everyone was saying he was the fighter of the year, but unfortunately not this year. Next fighter, Piotr Jan, who just won the belt. Piotr Jan obviously just fought for the belt. He fought Marab and won. Before that, he fought Marcus McGee, and I think it was just those two this year. I want to say that I might be missing out someone. I know he fought Figueredo. I think that was last year though. I think it was the end of last year. So 2 wins this year. He won the belt, and in quite good fashion. The thing is, not Marab. Jan always fights like he doesn't. He like never gets like finishes. He never gets submissions or knockouts. But it's the way he fights. It's like you kind of don't care. Like he fights like really technical and like he really hurts his opponents, and it's fun to watch. You don't really care if he gets a finish or not. Obviously, it would make it better if he did, but he doesn't, and I don't really think anyone seems to care that much because just the way he fights is just so exciting. But yeah, Marab with 2 wins and collecting the title and beating Marab. Like the Marab one is great. He won the title and he beat Marab, who was on like a what was he on like a 14 fight win streak. So yeah, Piotr Jan's coming into his second prime, and I'm looking forward to what he's gonna do in 2026. If he'll defend against he's obviously gonna defend against Marab. He's gonna get an immediate rematch, but we'll see what happens in that. I'm gonna put Jan at because his other fight was Marcus McGee. Marcus McGee's good, but he's not like the greatest. I'll probably I'm thinking A or B. I'll put him at A just because he beat Marab. I'll give him the benefit of the beating Marab. So that's that. Reiner de Ridder. So Reiner de Ridder came into the UFC last. I think his first fight was last November against Mearshart, and since then he's kind of been on this tear. He fought 4 times this year. He lost one of them. His most recent fight to Brendan Allen. He lost by I think it was I want to say it was TKO. I think it was like he was doing all right in the first round, and then it seemed like he just gassed, and then Brendan Allen just had his way with him on the ground, just did whatever he wanted him. I think it did finish. I wouldn't say it finished in a TKO to ground and pound, but before that it was he at the start of the year he fought. It was Kevin Holland who he beat by submission very easily. I think it was in like the first 3 minutes maybe. And then he fought Bo Nickel, the infamous Bo Nickel first loss, where Bo Nickel got showed levels on the stand up and even on the ground, I guess you could say, because he wasn't able to keep Ryan at the River down. He got up and then just started eating a bunch of knees from Ryan the River, and the big knee shot that crumbled Bo Nickel, and that was his first defeat. And after the Bo Nickel fight, he then like a couple months later went and fought Robert Whittaker, in, I think it was Saudi or something like that, or I think it was Saudi Arabia. And yeah, that was great. That was a great fight. He got knocked down, but then he like just scraped by. I think the final round he like just got like a takedown or something, and maybe that's why the judges gave it to him. You could see it going either way, but he got the win. So there was that. So he'd already fought. He'd won three times, and then obviously he hit the brick wall in Brendan Allen. A bit of an anticlimactic thing. You kind of don't really want your one of your kind of star fighters doing all this, beating guys like Bo Nickel and Robert Whittaker, and then falling at the final hurdle to Brendan Allen, who's not really much of a character. You know, Brendan Allen, he's a cool guy and he's a good fighter, but he's like not really like he's not really got much character, if you know what I'm trying to say. So that's Ryan the Ridder. I'm gonna put him at I'll put him at B tier. Just because he did get three wins, and he did. I know he lost, but he did get three wins, and one of them was Whitaker. And I guess you could say one of them was Bo Nickel, who looks good now, just having fought who's he fought? He fought the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu guy. What's his name? I've just blanked his name in my head. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You know who I'm talking about. Oh, I just thought of it. Yeah. Anyway, so there's next one is Makachev. So Makachev, obviously, he fought twice. He just recently beat JDM for the welterweight belt. He's now a two division champion. At the start of the year, he fought Moicano. It was supposed to be Sarukin, and then Sarukin started. What was the story behind it? He was like training with Nina Drama and just like messed up his back, and then he had to pull out. I think there's something else to it, but that's what everyone thought initially. Well, he did mess up his back, but everyone thought it's because he did this like interview with Nina Drama where he's like doing his like neck exercise where he like twists his whole body around his neck. So he had to pull out, and then Makachev fought Moicano and Hanato Moicano, who was on the card and got pulled up from the Dariush fight to fight on short notice, and that went as expected. Like he literally got I think it was Darce choked, or I think it was a Darce choke in like the first 2 minutes. I think it was. It was the first round, but it was very quick in the first round. So that happened. Then he fought JDM at the end of the year. I wouldn't say obviously the JDM win is good, but if like being subjective, it's not the greatest because one, he when he fought Moicano, it was like a short notice. It's Moicano, and Moicano's not even that good. I think he was ranked like number. What was Moicano ranked? Like number 9, number 10 when he fought Makachev. So it's not the best look for, or it's not the best look. Yeah, it's not the best look for a title defense. And then he fought JDM, who had just beat Bilal, and he didn't have any defenses. And obviously JDM's good, but it's not like he didn't have any. On JDM's record, there's not really any like credentialed opponents that he's beat. He obviously beat Bilal, and that's obviously his best win. But before that, it's like there's not very many. You know what I mean? There's maybe like who was it? Gilbert Burns. Like before he got the title shot, he fought Burns, and it's like Burns is old. He's even in the rankings anymore. I don't know. So it's not the best. So I'm gonna put Makachev because he got two belts. I'll give him that. I'm gonna put him in B. Next fighter, Topuria. Where am I going with this? Topuria. So Topuria fought once, and he won it. He went up to lightweight. He fought Oliveira. He fought for the vacant lightweight title, and he knocked out Oliveira in a round. And I think it was a round. Yeah, it was a round. So he knocked out Oliveira in a round. That was the only time he fought this year. Obviously, the recent news of him kind of taking a hiatus, not vacating, but taking a hiatus from fighting for maybe like the first third of next year until maybe next summer because of his legal issues with his ex-wife or whatever. Uh, he couldn't fight anymore. So it is just a one fight. It was a great knockout. However, it was one fight, and it was like it is Oliveira. He is like obviously it's Oliveira is good, but he's like old. He is old. He's like kind of not washed, but it's like he's not the Oliveira that everyone once feared. If you know what I'm trying to say. So I'm gonna put Taporia in C tier. Next, Prohaska, Yuri Prohaska, who fought twice this year, I believe, and he beat. Why am I blanking? It was. Who did he beat? He beat Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. That was it. I just completely forgot who he fought. So Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. Yeah, Yuri Prohazka is really, he's targeting specific fighters of a specific group. Let's just say that he's on the hunt. He's like he's like the reincarnation of Drew Dober. So yeah, he just likes doing that. Maybe he just as soon as he sees the ethnicity, he just signs a contract. He knows he's getting a knockout. So Prohazka, he fought them two or those two, and they were both knockouts. They were both really fun fights. Every time Yuri fights, it's a fun fight. There's never a boring Yuri Prohazka fight. So I was thinking, obviously it's like not a belt or anything like that, but it is two top ones, right? So I'm gonna put them in, oh, wrong one, B tier, because when you got to think about fighters of the year, you can't just think of if they get wins. You need to think if they get wins that are exciting to watch. If they are knockouts, and Yuri Prohaska gets amazing knockouts every time, or most times, but he has amazing fights every time. So that's what I'm gonna put Yuri there, and obviously he's having his he had announced a baby, like he's having a baby like next year. He announced that like last week, so good for him. Michael Morales. So Michael Morales, who did he beat this year? He beat Gilbert Burns. He only has two wins this year, I want to say. Yeah, so he fought twice this year. He has two wins. He beat Gilbert Burns, I believe, in January or February at the start of the year. And then he just beat Sean Brady. He beat them both by knockout, I believe both in the first round. And yeah, he's obviously, I think he's in the top five, maybe number five at welterweight now, maybe number four, and he's kind of, chapping on the door, pounding on the door for a title shot. Obviously, there's a bit of a log jam at welterweight right now because you have him and Prates and, a couple others. But yeah, Michael Morales, big, tall, scary guy. He's just been on a run ever since he got in the UFC, and his knockouts were great this year, so I'll probably stick him in. It was against Brady and Burns, as saying that I don't kind of value the Burns win. Like Burns isn't a valuable win anymore, and Brady, Brady's good, but he's never like he just beat like Leon Edwards. I get it, but it's not that good. You know what I mean? Because he's short for the division. So I'm gonna put Michael Morales in B tier. Next one, Imavov. So Imavov started off the year by knocking out Israel Adesanya, which was the best thing ever. So he knocked out Israel Adesanya, and then what was it? I think it was earlier, like maybe later in the summer, he fought Brendan Allen, and no, not Brendan Allen. Who was it? Yo, who did he fight again? He fought Braujo. He fought Braujo. That was it. He fought Brendan Allen like last year. Braujo, that was it. So he fought Braujo, won against Braujo, and yeah, that was a great fight. Two good wins, especially the Adesanya one, and probably just put him in B tier. You're gonna notice a lot that a lot of the fighters this year didn't fight a lot. Therefore, it was like they only fought like twice. Obviously, that's a lot nowadays, considering fighters don't really fight a lot. But a lot of these people are gonna go in B tier. I mean, it's the average, it's the middle. That's literally the definition of average. So yeah, I'm actually gonna move. mm, I'm gonna move Yiri up to A tier. Literally just for the fact he got two first round KOs, or not first round KOs, two like war KOs. And yeah, I'm just gonna do that. But next fighter, Joshua Van. So Joshua Van fought, I want to say four times this year. I think it was four. Just, just very fun to watch. Obviously, ended it off with the title win. I say win with quotation marks because it wasn't much of a fight. He showed up and just you know uh, Pantoja slipped on a banana peel and then Van got a belt. So was much of a fight. Let's just really say he won 3 times. He didn't really win 4 times, I wouldn't say. But yeah, we're gonna see that fight again, or we're gonna see it because we didn't really see it the first time. But he's the champ. He won objectively on paper. He won, so you got to say that. And I'd stick just for the fact he fought 4 times, won 4 times. You got to stick him in like A tier. Obviously, he's going to be compared to one of the kind of in a minute to one of the other fighters that I'm going to put on this list as the volume of fighting this year. The amount of times he fought was comparable. However, the quality of the fights was a bit different in terms of the opponents. But Ban four fights, 4 wins. You know, good for him. He's a champ. Next fight, Prates, Carlos Prates. This guy's a monster. He is like one. He's like knocking. I think, yeah, he has like all the way through the UFC. He's what first round KO like every single time, which is insane. He this year he beat spinning elbow Jeff Neal, and then he what was it? Spinning elbow Jeff Neal, and then he just like knocked out Leon Edwards. So he's great. Everyone's hyped up for him. It's like him and Morales are like the two hyped guys in welterweight right now because they're just like knockout, tall, lanky, like Brazilian knockout artists. Morales isn't Brazilian. He is Colombian, Ecuador. I can't remember where Morales is from, but you know, South America. Yeah. So I'm gonna put Prates with his two. Like he's that spinning elbow on Jeff Neal was like the best thing ever. And then I'm gonna put him in A tier because one, it's like he's got aura as well. He has yeah, we have to factor in the aura of the fighters when doing this tier list because their aura can also help. And Prates has aura when he's smoking the Marlboros and he still shows up and get. That's the reason he gets knockouts because he's like choking for a cigarette. That he's like, oh, I gotta get out of here and just like beast mode on. Gotta get my cigarettes and he just flatline KOs in the first round. So next fighter, Manel Cap. So Manel Cap, I think this is his. He fought twice this year. I want to say. So he obviously just fought Roy Val. He fought Roy Val first round knockout, and I thought, and then what was it? Earlier in the year, he fought Amabayev, and that was a third round knockout. I think it was a knockout. Yeah, it was a knockout. So he's fought twice, two ranked guys. He's literally about to get a title shot. He's probably going to fight Van next if Pantoja is injured. Is obviously his arm's injured. So in the meantime, you could do Cat versus Van. So we'll see that. And Cap, two knockouts. He's gonna get a title shot. I'll say he's an A. I'll say he's an A. And finally, this was by pure coincidence. He's my last fighter here. We have Marab. So Marab fought 4 times, won 3, just lost 1 against Yan, like against like the best version of Yan we've ever seen. Fought Umar at the start of the year, then fought O'Malley, who he submitted. He fought O'Malley for the second time, who he submitted, and then he fought Sanhagen in October, and almost knocked him out. I thought he was going to get knocked out at one point. So all title fights, all defenses. Fortunately, didn't get, or I wouldn't say unfortunately, but unfortunately for him, he didn't get the win against Yan. He didn't get the rematch win. So kind of hinders him. However, I don't really think it matters. He fought 4 times for a belt, 4 title defenses this year. Obviously, didn't get the last one, but he still got 3, and they're all against high level competition. Especially Umar. Everyone thought he was going to lose the Umar fight because Umar was like the undefeated guy from Dagestan, Khabib's protege and all that stuff. His cousin is protege. So I'm gonna stick Marab in the rightful S tier. He is the 2025 Fight of the Year because of his activity, especially as a champion. I think he broke a record for the most title defenses or the most title fights by one person in like a year. I think it used to be 3. I think it's now 4. Obviously, he really wanted to win, but he didn't get it. So, but no, Marab's like good. I like his fights. I wouldn't say I'm overly or overly excited when he fights, just for the fact that you kind of know what's going to happen. Obviously, got the submission against O'Malley, and maybe you could say that was a more more the reason for that was because O'Malley's ground game isn't the greatest. Maybe that's why, because he never really gets submissions. I think Merab has had like what, two finishes in the last 5 years, and one of them was Mike. What was his name? The Brazilian, like, what was his name again? I was just it's Moraes, Marlon Moraes. That was it. Magic Marlon Moraes. That was like what, 2021. So yeah. But yeah, his fights are exciting, kinda. But he does kind of put on a show, that to his credit. Like, even though he knows maybe he doesn't get finishes a lot, so he tries to kind of, he's the machine for a reason. He can take all the damage and he'll try and like put on a fight. He, grab Yan and walk to the center occasion and dunk him over onto the canvas, and that's fun. That's good for the crowd. But just purely off his activity this year, he's the fighter of the year, all title fights, and yeah, that is the list. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, it helps out, and yeah, I'll see you later. So bye.